Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. And today I'm doing another industry insider interview. And this time, however, we have the pleasure of we're joined by John. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. I'm really excited to be here. We've done this before.
Yeah, we have done this before. This is our second time shooting this interview because the last time it was an absolute disaster. We forgot the close-ups of the watch. There was the camera turned off halfway through.
Right, the sound, I think.
And the sound, yeah, there was somebody drilling in the next door. And it was just,
so it was a trifecta of mess-ups, and we decided to reshoot.
Yeah, reshoot. So thank you so much for coming in again.
I had so much fun. I'm glad it happened that way.
Good.
You know, and once this one goes out, hopefully it'll work well, but I'd love to come back too.
All right, cool. So I have to ask, what is your wristwatch check
Okay, I'm wearing the Boulder.
Nice.
This is the Boulder Odyssey.
Oh, and I should say we're joined by Vito again, manning the second camera. So
yeah, so I have the Boulder Odyssey. Mm-hmm. It is a 500-meter dive watch automatic. This one's called an Everblack.
Wow, I love those angular shapes on the. Oh, look at that bezel. It looks like
sharp.
It looks like the window on a ship.
Yeah, like a porthole.
Yeah,
it's got a helium escape valve. It's a serious piece.
That does look serious. I think that's the word, serious.
I love it. I love it. It comes a couple different variations, steel, a couple different dials. And,
nice. Nice. And we should explain, this is one of the brands you carry because you have WatchGauge.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how this started.
So I come from the high end of the industry. I've been in it for almost 18 years.
Right.
But taking note of all of the microbrands coming about, I started to really like the microbrands. I started buying a few, and then I realized that there's not really a central spot on the internet that curates and brings together the best micros.
Right.
And
because there's a lot of new Kickstarter companies, starting all the time. It's difficult to separate the quality from. And you know this because you've worked with. I almost actually wore my Navi timer.
I worked with a store that sold Breitling. Right. I sold Audemars Piguet, Glashütte, Ulysse Nardin, Tag Heuer. Most of the really big brands out there I've sold for many years.
Right.
I think
I must, before I forget, sorry.
Yeah,
let's check. I've got my little Dubé and Sheldon brand Rattrapant.
That's handsome.
Yeah.
That's really handsome.
Are you familiar with this brand?
I am. I'm familiar with their reincarnation.
Right.
Not their.
Oh, sorry, Vito.
Not their original.
There you go. Can you see that, Vito?
Yeah.
Nice. We'll do some more close-ups for you guys in the bit.
Yeah, that's really. I honestly thought that was a vintage Breitling. Because I've been holding off asking you what you're wearing until you did the wrist check. Right. So it's really handsome.
Thank you. I had to kind of rescue it. I bought it and it had one of the hands had come off, and so I sent it to Saltzman's and they put it back together and regulated it and made sure it was all.
So where is the this? Oh, it's in the crown. The second pusher for the Rattrapant.
Yeah.
Really nice.
It's pretty cool. And as you know, you can't really find a Rattrapant.
No.
For I bought this I think 1,500.
Oh, that's a home run. Is it gold plated or solid?
Yeah, it's capped.
Okay.
It's capped. Yeah. I mean, I don't typically like capped.
Yeah, but
it's,
I'd make an exception with that piece for sure.
Exactly. Anyway, we're not here to talk about this.
So
you've got 5-6 amazing brands you're going to share with us. Today. Actually, we should start with this. I think.
Yeah, so this is the one I left you when we shot the first.
Yeah, the first video.
Yeah. So this brand is NTH. Okay, NTH is one of the American-owned brands. Started by a gentleman by the name of Christopher Vail, Doc Vail, and they've got two collections that really are homages to dive watches from whether it be these are the subs, so these would naturally be from the 40s or 50s time era, and I've got another piece here, which is part of his Tropics collection.
Oh, that is gorgeous. Yeah, Vito, get a close-up on that. I love that one. I remember when you came in last time.
Right.
I really fell in love with this brand in particular.
So the great thing about NTH, there's a million homage watches out there, right?
Yeah.
My opinion, a handful of things set NTH apart when you consider this a tribute to watches that have come before. First of all, Christopher has an amazing sense of style, so there's a very unique set of newness that are in the designs. So you're wearing something that does have a an homage feel, homage feel, but there's definitely a lot of newness, and you can tell it's a modern piece.
Yeah.
The quality is outstanding.
Because this particular one, what is the name of
this? This is the Nakin Blue.
Nakin Blue. Obviously, we have the Snowflake. That's the Snowflake hands, very Tudor-esque, but the colours, the layout, it's also very slender.
It is very slim.
What movement is this?
That's a Miota 9 Series.
Nice. And they're not, I presume, judging by the movement, it's not going to be terribly expensive.
No, I want to say in the 600 range, 650 range.
Wow.
Right.
Because I actually borrowed this. You left it with me last time we recorded
and I have to tell you, I was a little heartbroken because that was the one I've been wearing for 2 or 3 weeks prior. I'm just teasing. So, but it was it's really it's one of my favorite watches that I own now.
And the bezel as well. Really nice action to it. I love the case, the polishing. For $600, it's beautifully made. And what is the insert there? Because
it is aluminum.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's great lume on that watch. What you don't notice, and it's a really fine point, the crown logo is also illuminated. So at night, the logo and the crown will actually illuminate.
Oh wow, nice.
On a handful of his pieces.
Nice.
Any one of his subs collection, which the Nakin is, comes on a bracelet. And because I'm not personally a bracelet watch guy,
yeah, me too. Yeah,
I had Chris send me a rubber strap for each one. So unique to us is that I include the rubber strap with every NTH that we sell.
So sapphire crystal, nice.
316L stainless steel.
I love the drilled lug holes.
I do as well. It makes it so much easier for the layperson to change the strap.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the fact it's got no date, and they got the colours so right. I mean, it's not a blue I see often, and the markers are really substantial. They're kind of raised. It's beautiful.
So playing on the subs, I brought this one because it has a much more unique
dial.
I remember
this. Yes.
So this one is called the Santa Cruz.
Oh, that's such a cool name.
It's such a great watch, and this one has it's got a white dial. It's got the tropic type of.
Is that like
loom.
a honeycomb?
It is. Yes, there's like there's a crosshatch pattern. Right. I guess you'd call it in there. This one has a date. So a lot of Chris's watches, he'll offer it with and without date. Nice. I prefer no dates. Nice. But this particular piece has a date. It's a completely different look. Yeah. It's the same essential watch, same case, same movement, same bracelet, and so on. Yeah. But it's got such a unique look. And this one I have on the strap I put into it is a bright blue.
Are they the same size?
Same exact case, same size, same everything.
Because this really wears small for me.
It does.
Is it 38?
It's 40.
Is it?
And it feels. I want to say it feels 38.
It does. Oh, that's great.
Very wearable.
Yeah, that is.
And he's got a few other executions in the sub collection. Now, also unique is so with Watch Gauge, what I try to do is I try to be able to offer something unique. So anybody can go to NTH and buy a watch from NTH. Yeah. Anybody can go to one of the other brands and buy a watch from them directly. Yeah. What's different is I go ahead and I buy the remaining inventory of a particular piece. So the Nakin Blue can't find anywhere else on the planet except for on Watch Gauge. Nice. I bought all of his Nakin Blues, and we'll talk about a couple others that I've done that with.
Before we move on, I've got to mention a few things about this. You said it was the Tropic.
This is the Tropic. So this one is called the Azores.
Very nice. It really does remind me of the Eterna Kontiki.
Yes.
The layout, and I remember last time that the texture on the center.
Yes.
It's got a stunning, and this is all loomed up.
Yes. All of the beige markers there are, and I believe a couple of points on the internal bezel.
I love how the numerals at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 are cut out. So
great shapes. Broad arrow hands.
Oh, of course.
And I don't know if you remember, this is the piece that has that fine adjustment bracelet.
Oh yes. Oh,
which is super high quality bracelet.
Yeah.
So you have the one button that opens and closes.
Right.
This button here extends the clasp.
And you can do that on the wrist?
You can do it while it's on your wrist.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah.
That is genius.
So if you have too much sodium, and your wrist blow up, you can adjust that.
Oh, that is that.
That's one of the pet peeves I have with a bracelet watch. Yeah. Personally, is they're either tight, they're loose. The next day it's tighter. The next day it's flopping around. So and to be offered on a watch that retails in the 700 725 range is outstanding.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And this looks like slightly bigger. So 42.
40.
I guess? 40.
40. The subs collection feels smaller, and this one certainly looks larger. I certainly attribute that to the internal bezel as opposed to the external bezel. When you have all glass, all sapphire, it makes the watch appear bigger.
Right.
And like the Nakin, I purchased every Tropics piece that Chris had. So little self-plug is obviously if you like the Tropics collection.
Well, I'm going to have to buy one of these before you sell out. Please put one of these.
I've got 3 left.
Oh, you got 3 left?
I have 3 left.
I have 3 left. Okay.
2 left now.
Yeah,
2 left.
2 left. Right.
Nice one, Peter. Thank you.
He's a math
mathematician.
mathematician.
I can't add to save my life. So gorgeous. I love this brand.
Fantastic. I love it as well. And this was our second brand we launched, and I got. So do I say lucky? Do I say fortunate? Where the brands that I've launched are ones that I really truly would love to own myself. That's only brands I would carry.
I think you can tell.
But there's
and that's so important
to have excitement about anything that anybody sells. For instance, when I was in the watch retail, traditional retail, I had such a difficult time selling anything that I personally didn't love.
Yeah.
It just didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
So every watch that we carry is going to be something that we truly love ourselves.
That's so important. I can totally relate to that, and I think that's integral to. Especially, I've tried to do that with the channel. You can't fake the funk. You have to love them.
Yeah, and what, I'm sure you get asked a million times a week to do a review of a watch or to, and if you look at it, you're just not like in love.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
Right. I think personally, there's a lot of media outlets there that have gone that way. To doing reviews on things they never would have before. And I love that about your channel, is that it is authentic, it's genuine, and it's not about selling out and so on and so forth.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's true.
Thank you. Let's move on to the next brand.
Okay,
what have we got next?
So I think we should look at the brand I launched first, which is Gorilla watches.
Oh, this is that crazy dial.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very cool.
Since I was here last time, I got the new versions in.
Oh, nice.
So the original version is the Gorilla Fastback, and here's the new, what they call RS White.
Very nice.
So Gorilla launched. Oh, I still have plastic on this one.
That almost looks like porcelain.
It's ceramic.
Really?
It is ceramic. So the story with Gorilla is it was founded by Octavio Garcia, who was he was the lead. Yes.
Right.
He was the lead designer, the head of design for Audemars Piguet for, I believe, 14 years.
Wow.
And he had a fire inside of him to create his own brand. He had a vision, something sporty, something racy. So he created the Gorilla Fastback. It's his vision, it's his baby. He left Audemars Piguet strictly and solely to start the brand.
Wow.
The original watch is the one here in my hands, which is limited to 500 pieces for the world.
Right.
So what makes this watch so special is the construction, the materials used. Starting from the top down, it's a sapphire crystal, a ceramic top portion of the case there. The red ring is anodized aluminum.
Wow.
And the meaty part of the case, which blows my mind, is forged carbon.
Wow.
So, and then of course the case back and the crown are titanium.
Very cool. That is
any watch that I've ever encountered until I was introduced to Gorilla that was made of materials like this were in the $20,000 to $30,000 range, like the AP Royal Oak Offshore or the Hublot Big Bang. This watch is under $1,000. Automatic movement, yeah.
Wow.
And so what makes this brand special to me, so Octavio left, let's call it the establishment part of the business to start something in the microbrand world, which is very similar to what I'm doing with WatchGauge. I still dabble in the high end. So Gorilla was our first brand we launched. I was able to get 10 of these pieces, of which I believe I have a few left. Then they introduced the new colors, so they have RS White, which I brought for you.
Sorry, what did you say this
was? RS White.
So it's RS White.
It's with the name Fastback. It's a very automotive inspired brand.
Of course.
They use an old 1960s Mustang Fastback in there.
Ah, so that's reference to that.
Right. So the name of the new colors are reference to car. So RS white, RS
Very
like a
cool.
Porsche RS.
Right.
So it's a very unique dial when you're looking at it at first until you really know what you're looking at. But you have the second hand sweeping there. The red hand is the minute hand. And the white hand there, which is facing between 35 and 40 on the dial, is the hour hand. Now what's really unique is the hour hand, you can see that pattern there on the dial opposite of the hour hand. Okay, so let's unscrew this.
I gotta say, I love the crown as well. It's very kind of futuristic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So as it rotates, that pattern on the dial, you can see rotates with the hour hand.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's a motion to the whole dial.
Yeah.
And sticking with the automotive inspired theme, you see that the markings on the dial are not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 5, 10, 15 up to 60.
Yeah.
So it gives the look of a
dashboard dial.
correct, the speedometer.
Yeah.
Or,
Lovely.
And
Gorgeous.
each one comes with I should say some of them come with a black rubber and a leather. In the case of some of the colors, it comes with an additional rubber strap.
Very cool. And we mustn't forget the case back is quite spectacular.
Yeah.
Have a look at that, guys. Have a look at that.
This case back, if for those of you who even aren't interested in anything remotely close to this,
Yeah.
go and look at the case back.
Yeah, just good.
The engraving on this case back is bananas.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. Oh, perfect. Nice. Nice. I love also the underside texture, the rubber to really get the grip. It's almost like an octopus.
So this one's my personal one, so it might not be the cleanest one in the world,
Right,
but
right.
that one's brand new.
Yeah.
And, you can take that off there if you
okay,
like.
cool.
Super comfortable.
Have a look at that Meetup. Can you see that? I really like the crown guards. I love how it's what material again?
So
was that?
forged carbon.
Forged
and the crown guards are actually forged into the case, so it's all one piece.
Right.
And again, forged carbon. There are very few watches out there under many thousands of dollars in forged carbon.
Right.
Very difficult to work with. And the other thing to note too is with this watch, if you if you feel around that case with the different materials and different angles, you don't feel any seams. You don't feel any.
Yeah, it's smooth.
It's very precision made.
Yeah.
And something you'd expect in a watch,
Yeah.
much more expensive.
Absolutely. So, and I just got to say before we go, I love the name Gorilla. It kind of sums it up. It's just like,
It's funny. Everybody has their opinions, and you see people online and say, "Oh, I don't love the name." To me, it sums up the watch for sure. It's
does.
bold. It's strong.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
it's in your face.
Yeah.
And their logo is just awesome. With that, I call it the screaming gorilla.
Yeah, it is. It
'Cause,
is. It's very cool indeed. Right, so let's move on to the next
Yes,
brand.
sir. So let's look at the guys from the UK.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes, perfect.
So this brand is a little bit less of a micro brand than some of the others. This one's called Elliot Brown.
And if I recall correctly, they have established stores.
They do. You've got an amazing memory. Or either that or you want to watch the old video.
I think it's this stuff.
Yeah,
It's-
right. I have to get some of that
Yeah.
before I leave.
Yeah.
They're based in the UK.
Yeah.
It was founded by two very good friends who were passionate about extreme sports and watches.
Right.
And so their whole
I presume one Elliot, one Brown.
correct
Right.
Ian Elliot and Alex Brown.
Lovely.
I was hoping not to mix those up.
Right.
Yeah. So they've got a few collections. I've committed to two collections because they're the ones I happen to love. So the one you're holding there is called the Canford. Now the Canford, you'll notice, is a quartz watch. Typically, I don't gravitate toward quartz watches for the most part. But this watch seemed to be extremely fitting to me because it is made for the most extreme environments, sports.
It looks like it.
Yeah, I surf, I fish, I do like a lot of water sports, things like that. That's a watch that I would throw on my wrist and not worry about.
The layout of the dial suggests almost like a scope looking down a rifle.
It's extremely legible.
It looks like the crosshairs.
It does. It looks like the scope of a gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very military-esque. What is this finish?
So that's a gunmetal. That's it's a DLC coating, I'm pretty sure, but it's got a gunmetal gray to it.
Nice.
I happen to have brought this one because this happens to be my favorite execution. Right. They make them where they look a bit more dressy. They have them on different straps and so on and so forth. But this one is the one I really gravitate towards. I happen to love that olive strap on there.
Oh, it definitely works. Keeps the theme.
Yeah, military-esque for sure. Internal rotating bezel, which is the reason for the 2 crowns there.
Lovely.
So this is actually a Swiss Ronda movement.
Right.
So even though it's quartz, it's Swiss. So where they went in one direction that I typically wouldn't be too attracted, I think they made up for it for sure, being a Swiss quartz.
It's quite an interesting mix of genres because I'm getting there's the plunger hands suggest aviation. The layout is very kind of field watch-ish. And then you have this inner rotating bezel. There's a little bit of diver in there. It's a bit of and the texture in the dart. It's concentric circles.
It is. There's a very, very fine. I love taking a loop and looking at watches.
Yeah.
There's a lot of detail in this in almost every brand that I'm carrying, but in this particular case, there's a lot of detail that you could really enjoy that most people wouldn't appreciate or even be able to see.
It's very, very nice. What is the size of this?
That one's 44.
44. Oh wow, it's that big.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big piece, but again, to me that one wears a little smaller. It's got some nicely curved lugs.
Yeah, quite curvy lugs.
I typically don't go north of 42, but in a few cases I would. The Gorilla Fastback that we spoke about is extremely comfortable.
And so this is the quartz, and this one is the automatic.
This is the automatic. This is called the Tyneham.
Oh wow, you didn't bring this one last time.
I brought a different version of it. I think the silver dial.
Look at that strap. Look at that strap. It's very nice.
It's integrated.
Yeah, that is really cool. And this is a little bit smaller.
That one's 41.
41.
Although the case thickness is very similar.
Yeah.
So to me that one seems like it wears a little larger than a 41. This is the fun of watches, right?
Interesting. And we get a display back
so yes, this one's got a Miyota movement, and I can't remember the exact reference, but it's got a power reserve indicator at 1 o'clock there, which is extremely unique for a microbrand.
Right.
As you mentioned before, they do have an established retail network. So they've got about 25 or 30 brick and mortar stores that they sell to in the UK.
So, but they are, what is their main focus?
Their main focus is on retail, where most, in selling to retail, where most microbrands have never really focused on that.
Interesting.
So that's why I mentioned in the beginning that they're a little less of a microbrand because they're a bit more established. WatchGauge is their very first international retailer and obviously the only retailer in the United States.
Also, the brand logo, it kind of suggests like a
shield.
Yeah, it's everything suggests military. There you go, tuck that in. Wow. That really hugs the wrist.
It does. Very curved lugs on that one.
Yeah. And the finishing all brushed, so stainless steel, I presume.
Yes.
Very nice.
Polished bezel. Portion of it.
That is really good. And this time it's just a fixed chapter ring. It
is.
Right. Right. So let's
move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
What goodies have you got next?
Okay. So Mercer. Mercer
New Jersey,
watch,
right?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
So that's part of the beauty of WatchGauge, right? So I'm forging relationships with guys. I'm from Long Island,
right?
But I'm forging relationships with guys in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, but also Singapore, Australia, Malaysia, Hong Kong, like all these places I've never had any personal business relationships with or anything like that, and that's part of the fun. And so Scott started Mercer.
Very nice. Is this a sandwich dial?
That is. I
Very
love
cool.
that. And again, like that Gorilla, this is my personal one.
Nice. Look at that blue. It's almost an Oris Aquis blue. A little bit darker.
Sandwich style ceramic bezel insert.
Oh, that is gorgeous. Can you see that, Vito? That is gorgeous. What's the size of this one?
That one is, I believe, 42.
42. Looks a bit smaller than 42.
Wears very comfortably.
Nice.
A beautiful brush finish on the case.
I love that. And quite unusual hands it's not that typical hands I would expect. A little bit.
The sandwich style is my favorite aspect of that watch.
Yeah.
Very deep. You turn it slightly and you could see the depth.
Yeah. And if I recall correctly, because the logo, it being a sword.
Correct.
You were telling me he is into history and...
Yes. So Mercer was founded in Mercer County, New Jersey.
Right.
Mercer County was named after Hugh Mercer, who was I believe a general in
Right.
And I'm trying to think, go back to 1700s, who apparently was a hero and did some very big things.
Right.
So
and Voyager 2 is a famous ship.
It is.
Right.
Wow. I have to tell the people that I do not prep him. He really pulls this stuff that I'm surprised you remember or know.
The thing is, I can't tell my right or left, but somehow I remember
about watches. Yeah. I totally get that. Yeah, I totally understand that.
Oh, that is nice as well.
120 click.
Very nice. That's a really nice solid. And can I be rude and ask how much?
I want to say $469.
Well, that's not bad at all. That's not. Oh, and look, the ship is on the case.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, beautifully engraved.
Let's get a shot of that. Cool. I'm gonna have to look it up on Wiki. That is a nice engraving. That really is value for money.
For sure.
Very nice strap as well. There's rubber.
Yeah, it's natural rubber.
Nice.
There's a mesh bracelet that can be fitted to that as well.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. How what do you feel about not being a bracelet guy like me? Mesh.
I don't like them at all.
You don't?
No,
really?
and I understand why people love them. I really understand why people love them.
Yeah.
To me, brings it flashy.
Is it?
Yeah. To me, it makes it flashy, and I know people completely disagree, and that's the beauty of watches and our love of watches, right? Yeah. But yeah, to me, they're extremely flashy.
Because usually, when somebody's not a bracelet guy, there'll be one particular bracelet that they're okay.
Yeah. No, that's because a mesh wraps that like a strap. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
The only bracelet watch on the planet I've ever owned and loved was the AP Royal Oak.
Oh, of course. Yeah, they're all integrated. The sides. The
I think for me it was because it was the Royal Oak.
Yeah.
That I could say, okay, I could wear this.
Yeah. Interesting.
So,
Yeah. Well, that is one killer bracelet. Yeah. So
tell
me about this.
So this is the Mercer Lexington.
Lexington and Concord was the first battle of. It was a big battle in the.
There we go.
Right on, math and history. This guy's a genius.
But let's look that up.
Yeah, battles of Lexington and Concord. So the next
was that New Jersey?
The next watch is going to be Concord. No, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Vito. That's why he's here.
I love it. Yeah. I have to get a Vito.
Yeah. You can find them in the Bronx. So, Panda Dial.
Yeah, so...
Beautiful layout.
Aesthetically, one of my favorite watches from Mercer as well.
So, I feel like a watch whore. I just want to try them on.
Please. So the Lexington is his newest model.
Right.
And
oh my God.
Yeah, that's the kicker there.
As a column wheel.
It is. It's a Seagull.
Ah, of course.
Yeah,
I was going to think, how is this possible? This is going to cost thousands and thousands. Wow. Oh, yes. Right. Interesting. So that's how the cost is kept down. But these, because if I recall correctly, that they use the same machines to do the old Venus.
Yes.
Something.
So the Venus movements were, from back in going prior to the 60s and 70s, and Seagull, which is a Chinese company, purchased Venus.
Right.
All of their tools, all of their equipment, and essentially what you're looking at when you look at the case back is a exact replica of a Venus 175, I believe. Sorry
guys, you're going to have to see how smooth the actuation, I actually remembered the word this time, of the chronograph. So I'm going to start it. It's seamless. There's no jolt, and that is what mostly people are obsessed about column wheels.
Correct.
Oh, that's beautiful. And it's decorated. Very, very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. God, you're gonna make me a poor puppy man with all this. What is the size?
Oh, G40, I believe.
It has to be, yeah.
I may be wrong on some of the details, folks. It's
Look at that. Even for my tiny wrist, that is perfect. I love the pop of red on matching the Lexington.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Oh, look at the markers, the way they
polished.
Yeah, and faceted, like little tip. The arrow tip at the end is astonishing attention to detail. And the subdials, the way it radiates outwards,
This is certainly a watch you would want to put a loop to while you're sitting at home and appreciating your watches.
yeah, there's a lot of artistry going on here. Very, very nice. Gorgeous. So, tell me the price of this one.
$5.29.
$5.29.
Yeah. You can see why I fell in love with microbrands.
Yeah, you do get a lot of.
And don't get me
value for
wrong, I
money.
still appreciate the higher end. I still love the higher end.
Yeah.
But there's really something to be said for some of these fantastic brands coming out.
So we got a domed sapphire, I presume.
I may be wrong. That may be a hardened mineral.
Yeah.
Gives that vintage feel. There's not a whole lot of skew there, yeah?
No, yeah. Even the strap is done well.
Yes.
It's really that
And
racing.
I typically don't love straps with holes in it at all.
Right,
This
right.
one I happen to love. I think they did it right.
Yeah, it suits the watch perfectly. Even the stitching, it's I couldn't see it with any other strap. To be honest. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Okay, so and what is the last brand you have?
So the last brand is Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Melbourne is from Australia.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah. Bit of trivia there.
So two collections that I've committed to
Right.
and that I'm selling with.
Okay.
The first one is the Port C.
Oh my God! Look at that. There's a lot of layering going on in that dial.
That dial is ceramic.
Is it?
It is.
I don't think I've seen a ceramic dial before. That's gorgeous. I love how they put the M on the balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the second hand.
Yeah.
So and that has a unique layout, especially for microbrands. It's a complete calendar. So you have
calendar.
you have
oh yes, I see the little hidden pusher there.
correct day, month, date.
Very nice. Looks like a blinds on a
Horizontal pattern that's actually has texture.
Yeah.
So it's not just a marking on it. It's
engraved.
and if you look at the subdials and then the perimeter of the watch, there's a hefty jump up as well.
Yeah.
So it's a very multi-level dial made of ceramic.
Did they carve it out of one piece or is it layered?
I don't know. I believe it's carved out of one piece. I may be wrong.
God, look at the case bag on this. You have to get a close up of that, Vito. A lot of nice case backs. They're very proud of their brands, and they should be. That's gorgeous. That is.
Yeah, it'd be gorgeous if it would focus. There we go.
You have two of these.
I do.
models.
So one of the watches that's exclusive to WatchGauge worldwide is the Melbourne Sorrento,
Very nice.
which is
So are they both automatic?
they both are automatic. They
Right.
both have Miyota movements in them.
Right. God, this is a totally different style. This is you couldn't get
It's
more.
very, very different, but once pointed out, there's a couple of cues that are very similar.
Right.
That horizontal pattern on the dial,
Ah, yes.
and that dial is also ceramic.
Is it interesting? Very. I haven't seen this kind. I like the markers how they've done the work.
Melbourne made themselves popular with the Port C model and the classic look. Going into a dive watch, they sort of kept a dressy look to it in a way. I like to say that this is a dressier dive watch.
Right.
So instead of having big numerals or big markers, they're much smaller. The bezel is great. It has a wave pattern in
I
the
was
bezel.
about to say, yeah, it's very, very cool.
And it's sandwiched with a pattern in it. Brushed, a lot of brushed elements, which is
Yeah.
not very common for dive watches. So this is sort of a dive watch that you can pull off in a suit to the office as well as.
It does have a quite dressy look to it, yeah. That is interesting. And those hands, I haven't seen those hands, but they're quite futuristic.
Yes.
Very different to, this is so traditional.
Correct.
So the full
Port C.
calendar. Right. Yeah, it's...
And one thing I find that is nice is that Melbourne names their collections after special spots within the city of Melbourne
interesting.
or
interesting.
surrounding locations.
Right. I love the calendar. Those hands are very elegant.
And so that piece comes in stainless steel with blue dial, white dial, and then rose gold plated with blue dial and white dial. So there's 4 different versions of the Port C, and they're all very different looking.
Interesting. Can I ask how much these ones are?
Yes, the Port C is $680 or $700 depending on the finish, and the Sorrento is $765.
That's not bad at all for a full calendar. And can I ask what the water resistance on this diver is?
Oh, gee.
Let's have a little of that.
Yeah,
Go for
I
it.
forget to be honest. Hey, I'm working with so many new brands. It's 20
fine.
atmospheres.
Oh, okay. So that's a 20. And I didn't even ask what our old friend the Nakin.
Nakin.
Yeah. Oh, it's 300.
300.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very impressive.
So that's 300. and I believe, so the the Mercer Voyager is 200 meters.
Right. Wow. They will do the job admirably. Perfect. I know which one I'm going to be buying. And very impressive. Is there anything we should know about your website?
So, I mean, as I was mentioning before, I'm trying to curate a collection of the best microbrands out there. I'm launching, the way I launched 9 weeks ago, and I'm launching one brand every 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
So that way, every 2 or 3 weeks, I've got a new brand I'm introducing. I just introduced Boulder last week.
Nice.
Which is a great fun brand. Go check that out. So I do have a handful of other brands that are in the queue to keep it interesting, to keep it fun. The main focus for me is to have the very best micro, so nobody has to worry about whether it's a good quality, well-made, things like that. The other thing is to get the exclusive. So as I mentioned, I'm the only retailer in the world for Gorilla. Every brand I have so far, I believe I'm the only retailer in the United States. And then I buy their entire collection, or their entire inventory of a certain collection, so that I'm the only place in the world where you could find those pieces. So on watchgauge.com, in the shop drop down, there's WatchGauge exclusives. The watches there are exclusive for a reason.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
very nice.
and it's for me, it's about fun. It's about love. It's about passion.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to be able to do what I love for a living, and
that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That is what it's all about.
Yeah. And if I could provide for my family and have this much fun, no complaints.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing all of this.
It was my pleasure.
And I think a lot of my audience have been asking microbrands, and it's a tricky thing to get right, because there is a lot of kind of, how should we say this politely?
Garbage.
Well, you say I did.
Yeah.
But what you're doing, I think, is perfect, because you're really, with your passion, with your eye, with your experience from working in the industry.
Yeah.
You know quality, so the audience can rest assured, and I can recommend your services. There'll be a link in the description.
It.
You've got a YouTube channel.
I do. I just started YouTube, and it turns out you need to have 100 subscribers before you can get your own URL. So I can't even tell you what the URL is, because I'm at about 40.
Let's change that. Let's change it. Please subscribe as soon as possible.
I have the Instagram. I've got Facebook. Everything is at WatchGauge or /WatchGauge for the most part, and that's all new to me.
Right.
So anybody watching this, give me a little leeway.
Yeah.
I've never been on social media. I've never been on camera prior to 9 weeks ago. So
you're in for a ride. I tell you.
Well, I'm going to be calling you for advice. So it's fun though. That's the thing, is it's really, really fun.
Oh, and engaging with the people out there. That's
so the best part.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been live for 9 weeks. I've sold a handful of watches, not a tremendous amount, but 20 or 30. And I consistently find myself emailing or texting a client who got the watch, hey, how's it going? How's it running? Do you love it? And to me, the engagement part is fantastic. Yeah. And the other thing is, too, is that I don't know when this is going to air, but we're heading down to the Microbrand Meetup in D.C., which is on November 19th. When we do that, again, it's all about the engagement. I'm going to be with 30 other brands. We're going to talk shop. We're going to have fun the night before at dinner. And then the next day, it's 400, 500, 600 consumers and watch nuts coming in. Yeah. So I anticipate being extremely exhausted on Monday. Right. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Interesting. Well, I hope if I can get this video edited in time, it will be out there.
Okay. If not, then I'll put on a video of my experience there sometime to follow.
Please do. Would you kindly join us again in, let's say, when you've had a couple more launches, to share some more brands?
Without a doubt. I mean, honestly, this is so much fun that I would do this all the time.
Fantastic. There's so much more out there that we, a lot of these brands I'm not familiar with.
Yeah. And I'll extend an invitation if you guys want to come out to an hour out east on Long Island.
Oh, I'd love that.
We'll do something in the office there.
Yeah, we need to get out of.
It'll be fun.
Thank you so much, John.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna leave it there. Please don't forget to add your thoughts, queries, comments, opinions, all the rest of it down below. Thank you so much for watching. The links and everything are in the description. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, found it useful, and as always, I will catch you in the next one, and hopefully John in the next one.
I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Ciao.